everybody, Dr. Hill and Mook here at Advanced Animal Care Berea, and today we are going to talk about some options for treating internal and external parasites that you can find in or on your dog.
All right, Dr. Hill, what are the treatments for dog parasites?
Yeah, so it's going to be a little bit different depending on the depending on the parasite that we're dealing with. So if it's an internal parasite, a lot of times we will treat those with dewormers, depending on the parasite that we found. Sometimes they require an oral medication if it's a protozoal type parasite. If it's an external parasite like a flea or a tick, a lot of times we'll recommend a product to kill those guys, whether it be something like Simparica Trio, which takes care of fleas, ticks, intestinal parasites, as well as heartworms, or maybe something like Bravecto that just takes care of those fleas and ticks.
All right, so if one of my pets has parasites, do all the pets in my home need to receive treatment?
So it depends on what parasite that we are dealing with. If it's fleas and ticks, fleas for sure, then yes, everybody should be treated, because let me tell you, fleas do not discriminate against who they will jump on and who they will bite. So if you're noticing fleas, then yes, I would strongly encourage you to treat all of your pets and keep them on year-round flea prevention. Sometimes when it comes to intestinal parasites, it depends on the type of parasite. Now, sometimes these guys, the eggs can be picked up in the soil. So if your pets go outside together and use the same, grassy area to go to the bathroom, then it is possible that they both picked up the same parasite. But really, having an intestinal parasite exam done for those intestinal parasites on each pet would be the best thing to do to start with, to see who needs treatment and who doesn't.
All right, can I get parasites from my dog?
So it depends on the parasites. So like I said, fleas don't discriminate, so they will bite you just like they will bite their pet if they're hungry enough. Ticks don't as well. So if your pet brings in a tick, it's very possible that once that tick is done feeding on your pet, and jumps off and goes and lives its tick life, if it's still in the house, it could definitely get onto you. When it comes to intestinal parasites, the biggest thing that I recommend to all of my pet owners is don't be making any poop sandwiches. We really want to avoid bringing any fecal material near our mouth. But then the other caution too is that if you guys have a sandbox or anything that your kid plays in, to just have caution walking around sandboxes barefoot, putting the sand in your mouth, because a lot of times some outdoor animals or even your own pets might use a sandbox like a litter box.
Yeah. So is there prevention for dog parasites?
There is. So my favorite prevention is going to be Simparica Trio. I love this product because it gets everything in one dose that you give every 30 days. So it's just once a month, but it gets your heartworms, it gets your intestinal parasites, it gets your fleas and your ticks. But other products that we carry here that our pet owners really like are going to be Bravecto, and this is a chew that lasts for 90 days. This one just takes care of fleas and ticks on your pet. And a lot of times we'll pair it with ProHeart 6 or ProHeart 12, which is an injection that we give here in the clinic, which takes care of the heartworms and the intestinal parasites in your pet.
So are parasitic infections serious, or will they go away on their own?
So they're not going to go away on their own. They always require treatment. In terms of seriousness, it depends on how many parasites there are. So one may not be so bad, but a lot of times one turns into a whole heck of a lot more, and that's when we start to run into trouble. And so if you're noticing any parasites at all, whether it be fleas, ticks, worms in their stool, then we definitely recommend having your pet seen and getting them treated.
Great. Can I use natural or over-the-counter treatments for my dog?
So you just have to be really careful about that. The natural stuff, I don't feel like it's as effective as the products that we sell here at the clinic. In terms of the over-the-counter products, they're not going to have the same guarantee or the same quality as the products that we sell here in the clinic. And so if for some reason at all, your pet were to become sick after taking a product, or maybe they were to throw the product up, or maybe they were to have an allergic reaction, We always guarantee the quality of the products that we have here, and we will make sure that your pet gets healthy and well if something were to happen while your pet was on the product. But the same can't be said for the products that you purchase at the store. And so a lot of times we'll see pets develop rashes or get sick. Maybe they'll have tremors, things like that, because the wrong medication size was used, or maybe the medication itself just wasn't good. Maybe it caused some skin irritation. And so I just really advise a lot of pet owners to use caution when they're looking at over-the-counter products.
My last question is, if I have an infestation in my home, what can I do to treat it?
Yeah, so there are some products that you can purchase at Lowe's or Tractor Supply or any home improvement stores that kind of are, home area treatments for fleas or maybe other parasites or pests in the home that you can use. And a lot of times those products are just fine. What I would encourage you to do is just keep your pets out of the home for the day that you're doing the treatments, or maybe you do the treatments on this half of the house in the morning while your pets stay on this half of the house, and then after about 6 hours you kind of do a swap. But the best thing to do is to read the label on the product that you're using, and that's going to be the best information about how long you need to wait before exposing kids and pets and everything like that to those treated areas. But if you have any concerns too, I would always recommend contacting a professional pest control service as well.
All right, thank you so much.
You're so welcome.